kyakabi kyemukola okuba nga mwekumira ku YY Media nga mubona emboozi zaife ku YouTube kyetulizaamu amaani era tusaba abagayaka abakale kusubscribinga okujja mu maiso n'okutoyingaku nga basubscribinga. Nze eyo olusigala ziri abazira kulonzalonza abasomesa ba senior abasomesa amasomo ga science mu kikatasi kya Busoga batiisatiisa nga bali kujja okwekalakaasa nga baloba okulina mu kibiina gavumenti wenaaba ayigwirewo amasomero nga President Museveni yali ategeeza mu January nga bakoba nti bano bali kwenda gavumenti eveeyo ebongeze omusaala gwe yabasuubiza nga President Museveni we yakoba mu kaluwa akakawaire. Basomesa bano nga bali wansi ow'ekibiina kiibwe ekibagaita ekya Uganda Professional Science Teachers Union bakunganyire gale mu bitundu eby'ekibuga eky'Iganga era nga bano bakoba nti bakooye nga abasomesa okusomesa nga abaana bafuuka abantu abanene wabula nga bo ate abasomesa basigala inuma nga basekererwa olw'obusente obutonyongoli bwe bafuna. Bano bategeeza nti President Museveni yasuubiza okwongeza abasomesa ba science sente nga owa degree ajja kufunanga emiliyoni 2.2 ate owa diploma bamuwe emiliyoni 7 era nga President yakoba nti kino kitandiikirewo mu mwaka gwa 2008. Abasomesa bategeeza nti mu mwaka gwa 2008 eriyoku abasomesa abaali batandise okufuna ku busente wabula gavumenti yali yakakasasulaku omwezi mulala abandi yabawaku emyezi 2 ate baida bayemereza entegeka eno y'okubaga sente ate ng'ensonga tebabakobera kyova olunaku lwaleero bavuireyo bakoba nti gavumenti wetabaga sente President Museveni yabasuubiza basobole obutalayo kulina mu kibiina ng'okusoma kutandise. Bano bayogere ku niifwe.
In the 2018-2019 financial year budget, the government of Uganda agreed to pay scientists in Uganda slightly higher than our colleagues in the humanities. It was not only in people in education sector, but it was across all other sectors, say police, say UPDF, say other civil servants, because we have both scientists and humanities in those departments. God is good that it was passed, but our colleagues in other departments got the science allowance and got increment. For graduates, 2.2 million, and for diploma, 1.7 million. But for education sector, we only got for 1 month, that were just some few. Then some of them got for 2 months. Then it stopped. Part of it, some members were told to refund that money. We hear that the Minister Finance wrote to COWS instructing them to stop paying science teachers as scientists. We wonder, a scientist in police, a scientist in agriculture, a scientist in UPDF, but a science teacher is not a scientist. When a science teacher is done, who produced that one in police?
So what do you want?
We see a discrimination here.
As science teachers, we need the money. We need that increment. Because I happen to be one of the members who received that increment which was made for 1 month. But I realized that that money, if it had continued coming, we could have settled, it could have made the teachers settle and do their work, being that science requires a lot of time and concentration and it requires a lot of motivation to these students for them to learn. Take the example of my district, Buyende. When you go to the A-level school, the schools with the A-level students, you rarely find science students there because of the poor performance in these schools. Why? It is because teachers tend to turn out to be visiting teachers because they have some other schools, they want to really make things end, and so they don't concentrate. But when they are given this money, I doubt whether there will be any teacher. Actually, there will be no teacher who will part-time, but they will be full-time and give enough time to the students to see that they also pass the sciences.
Science teachers contribute a lot to the nation, especially in building up the learners that join tertiary institutions and universities and do sciences, especially that are contributing to the economy of this country, like engineers, doctors, nurses, and so on. But what amuses us as science or as science teachers per se is where a science person that has left senior 4, maybe at a level of a nurse, a midwife, a clinical officer, earns an average higher amount of money than a science teacher in a secondary school. Yet, this would be a science teacher first, considered before these learners that he produces to join tertiary institutions. We expect that once science salary for science teachers is improved in this country, the performance of students in science is likely to improve. And therefore, the products out of secondary school will also improve.
The salary increment is actually fit for the science teachers to get, given the workload that the teachers go through, preparations of science, and the risks. Being in the laboratory, a school laboratory has the same risks like being in any other laboratory. We work with acids. You find colleagues who get accidents with acids. We work with glass materials which break and eventually injure colleagues. So this enhancement is also fit for the science teachers. And now that we are in the era of innovation and technology, which begins from the grassroots, if these younger children are brought up with a good foundation, with good skills of analysis, preparation of materials, eventually that's when we shall have people who can be innovators in the future.